Hi, this is Frank with a Frank Opinion. I'm back from North Carolina after 10 days, and I want to follow up on my last two videos dealing with H.R. 676, the Expanded and Improved Medicare for All Act. In my last video, I indicated that I thought that people should take a cue from the journalist in the famous movie Network that says, "I'm mad as hell and I can't take this anymore." And say that to yourselves as you look at what's happening in the United States and try to figure out what you can do personally in order to make things a little bit better, or a lot better. I also wanted to follow up on the one before that where I said it's on us. And the more that I talk to legislative staff and those that are good enough to call me back, some of them very good people, there's no sense of urgency. And in what I have found out, they are waiting for leadership to propel them in terms of action on promoting H.R. 676. So they haven't gotten the word from Nancy Pelosi to kind of help with this, apparently. And on the Senate side, the same thing holds true for Chuck Schumer. Let's see what he does with regard to Senator Bernie Sanders' bill. That's going to be on the Senate side, a Medicare for all. I also, before dealing with some practicality that we can all do, is to say that I want to dedicate this particular video to four wonderful people in North Carolina that I met, and I talked to many. The first is Crystal, a young, beautiful young lady, college student in a community college, working part-time, that is worried about whether she's going to be able to continue her college education towards a four-year institution, perhaps beyond, because of the cost of tuition. Second person is Sean, young 28, 29-year-old entrepreneur, small business owner. Again, struggling to make that business work, trying to figure out whether he's going to be able to eke enough out of his business in order to have some financial security way down the future in terms of retirement. Third person is a young woman, Quinn, who my daughter and I met at a gem factory, who took time with us in terms of identifying the gemstones that we had collected from the pails, etc. Terrific person. And the fourth is Beth, perhaps a woman in her 50s who was a server at an attraction in North Carolina that we visited, who was kind enough to give us a cookie for free because when we went to the counter, they were not cooked yet. And as we walked away, she said, "Oh, go ahead, take one." So that's Beth, Sean, Crystal, and Quinn, four terrific Americans, worried about the future of this country, worried about their own future. So in terms of H.R. 676, a wonderful bill, as I mentioned in a post this morning, one of the clearest, simplest, and most comprehensive pieces of legislation that I've read ever. Here's some ideas of what we can do. The first is meet with your congressperson, brief them on H.R. 676, and encourage their co-sponsorship. There are now 72 co-sponsors. This is up from 61 just a few weeks ago. And you can use the Physicians for a National Health Program. And I think I have that in reverse. I'm sorry. It's PNHP, Physicians for a National Health Program. You can find them at pnhp.org. They have 38 chapters in 38 states and subchapters in various cities, and they would be more than willing to come to a meeting with the congressman to lend their expertise and answer questions with regard to 676 that you might not be able to answer. So, when you go to that meeting, if you've been listening to my videos, you have to request a yes from what you've heard. Are you going to co-sponsor? Or no, are you never going to co-sponsor? Or no, you need more information and more time. Also kind of acceptable. Remember, you don't want to get anything other than those three. You then have to ask the congressperson by when they think they're going to be able to make a decision. Yes or no. Yes or no. With regard to the co-sponsorship, their co-sponsorship. The other thing that people can do that don't have time to meet with their congressperson and coordinate and plan that meeting is call their offices to urge their support for H.R. 76 and to co-sponsor, or there can be letter writing and petitions that people do in support of H.R. 76. So these are just a few of the things that can be done practically in order to lend support for H.R. 676. Advocacy organizations, our legislators are not going to move on their own unless they make them move. We make them move. And legislators have to know that there's a price to be paid for not giving a clear answer, and also for not supporting something that citizens overwhelmingly support, which is single-payer health care when they are educated about it. To give you an example, I'm in the process of coordinating a meeting with my congressperson. My email, which I can read briefly to you, hi Megan, she's the scheduler for him. I received your contact information after calling the Congressman's Washington's office. I am a constituent of the Congressman. I would like to coordinate a meeting with Tom, that's his first name, provide him with an overview, and to encourage his co-sponsorship of H.R. 676. H.R. 676 is sponsored by Congressman John Conyers, and as of this past Friday, has 72 co-sponsors. I would have a representative from the New York City subchapter of Physicians for a National Health Program present to provide the overview and answer questions Tom may have. In addition, I would like to have 8 to 10 constituents representing both the western and eastern parts of Tom's extensive district in attendance. Again, this is just an example. If you go on my Facebook feed and want ideas about how you can handle the wording of such an email, such a letter, so that you can meet with your congressperson relative to H.R. 676, by all means I'll help as best I can. But the important thing is to spend some time either coordinating and setting up a meeting and doing the follow-up with the congressperson, calling in support of H.R. 676, or getting involved in letter writing, campaign in support, or petitioning in support. Thank you so much for today.